Let me share with you the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court of the Philippines in this new case that I am reading. This is about the declaration of nullity of deed of sale, reconveyance, and damages, and for quieting of title. So, basahon na nako. Let's go through this decision together and let's refresh our knowledge on maybe learn some more. Before the court is a petition for review on certiorari under Rule 45 of the Rules of Court filed by the petitioner, questioning the decision and resolution rendered by the Honorable Court of Appeals. In the sale decision and the resolution, the Court of Appeals affirmed the joint decision dated 2009 rendered by the Regional Trial Court. So, duha ka civil cases mo ng joint decision. Duha ka civil cases, since joint decision man, so we could assume na apoy joint trial. Otherwise, duha ni ka decision kay gabuwag ang trial sa duha ka kaso. So in this case, since there is a joint decision, we would assume that there was a joint trial. So somewhere in time, no, from the time that the case was filed up to this point, no, when the decision of the Regional Trial Court was issued, before the decision was issued, most likely before trial, gi-consolidate niya ang duha ka cases para joint trial na nahitabo, joint decision. So, mas makatipid man gud ang clients and di pod mabugatan ang korte. So, the essential facts and antecedent proceedings as called from the recital of facts in the sale decision, the essential facts and antecedent proceedings of the instant case are as follows. So, modo ni ang facts. Friends, minum po siya kay makasakit og tutunlan magbasa gud. Wa ni edit akong video. So, please bear with me, no? The instant case stems from the consolidation and joint trial conducted by the Regional Trial Court, tiny text, over two cases filed by both parties. First, civil case for declaration of nullity of deed of sale. So, once manalify ang deed of sale, manapod ni siya action for reconveyance para mabalik ang property and para mabawi imong gasto and kumbaga na punitive aspect ni file for damages ang petitioner. Next would be a civil case for quieting of title and ownership filed by the respondents. Okay, so duha, no? Wala na ko basa tanan para di mo maglibog. So, duha ka kaso. Ang first case is for declaration of nullity of deed of sale, reconveyance, and damages filed by the petitioner. The second is civil case for quieting of title and ownership filed by the respondents. So, nag-iyahay ni silang file og kaso de, ang usa si petitioner. Ang the other case, si respondent ang nag-file. The controversy is centered on lot number 43, no? Ngani ang parcellary number. Lot number 43, which is the subject lot, with its improvement erected thereon. Improvement like mga buildings, houses, fences, but in this case, na building containing an area of 198 square meters, more or less, particularly described as follows. So, it's a parcel of land located somewhere in the Philippines with a technical description. So, di na nato na memorize on sa technical description sa yuta because in this case, no, unless makita na to later nga material and relevant na nga information, di na kaya na siya importante. Okay? The subject lot is covered by a certain transfer certificate of title. Okay? Registered in the name of petitioner's mother. Okay? Si Labnao ang nakapangan sa titulo. The relationship of the parties is as follows. Labnao had two children. Si petitioner, si Uy, and Julita Uy, si Julita, no? Julita produced 3 children. the respondents, heirs of Julita. Hence, petitioner Uy is the uncle of the respondents, heirs of Julita. Julita died intestate on May 9, 1976. So, the petitioner is the uncle, iyang mga pag-umangkon, nephews and nieces siguro ni, ang mga respondents, heirs of Julita. So, the children of the siblings of the petitioner. Kasad po, no? Ang pamilya ray gaway-away. The uncle versus the nephews and nieces. In his complaint for declaration of nullity of deed of sale, reconveyance and damages, petitioner Uy maintains that upon the death of Labnao in 1995, as the surviving offspring of Labnao, sa iyang parent, iyang mother, he became the owner of 1/2 share of the subject lot and subject building owned by his deceased mother, with the other half pertaining to the respondents, heirs of Julita as co-owners. Sa pagkakaroon at this point, mo sakto rin po, no? Di ka kitaon sa problema. Let's say. However, petitioner Uy discovered that the subject lot was allegedly fraudulently sold by Labnao in 1990 in favor of the respondents, heirs of Julita, through a deed of sale purportedly executed by Labnao. So, kunuhay, gi-question ni na deed of sale din from the mother of petitioner padung sa iyahang igsuon, no? Di padung sa igsuon, padung sa anak sa iyang mga igsuon. Okay, in favor of respondents, heirs of Julita. So, naa ko na'y fraudulent deed of sale, mo niyang theory ni Uy, ni petitioner, na fraudulent deed of sale which sold the subject property to the heirs of Julita. Gipagawas kuno nga iyang mama nagbaligya padung sa iyahang mga pagumangkon. Upon discovery of the falsification, napaday, iyang gi-assert that the signature of Labnao in the deed of absolute sale is a patent forgery, as shown by the findings of the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory, Region 7. Region 7, taga Region 7 mo ko. Inumta. Upon discovery of the falsification, petitioner Uy confronted his nieces and nephew. So, nieces and nephew din yung mga respondents before the barangay chairman of their place for a possible settlement of the matter, but to no avail. So, nagtry sila og ariglo dito sa barangay pero walay naitabo. Having been deprived of his hereditary rights and co-ownership over the subject lot and the subject building through the fraudulent sale, he prayed for the nullification of the deed of absolute sale, the reconveyance of 1/2 portion of the subject lot, partition and damages. Sa kaninga punto, kung dili to valid ang deed of sale, okay ra po niya ang gi-file, no? Kay nangayo ra sad siya siyang bahin. Wa man niya gitangtangan og bahin ang iyang igsuon. Natanaw na to sa resulta ni. In his complaint, the petitioner Uy also noted that the subject lot and subject building have been subject of a prior action for interpleader. So, nana din siya interpleader filed before the regional trial court by the lessee of the subject building, si Josefa, who filed the said action in order to determine who between petitioner Uy and the respondents, heirs of Julita, should collect the lease rentals. So, kung ikaw gaabang, or ikaw utangan, or ikaw ang payor, ikay mo bayad ba? Kung mo bayad ka sa abang, let's say, money, or any other obligation, galibog ka kinsi mo dawat. Let's just say, na kay utang ni Pedro. Si Pedro namatay. 5 kabuk tao, or 2 kabuk tao, gasulti nga, siya dapat ang mo receive sa imuhang payment nga utang ni Pedro. Maybe for rent, for the purchase of property, or any contractual obligation. Di gay ka sure, ayaw ibayad. Kay ikaw mo yung ang problema mo na kung imo ibayad, what if ang imong gibayran dili siya sakto nga party, no? So dili siya mahimo nga payment in due course. Mahitabo, it will be as if wala ka ni bayad si mo obligation to the real creditor. So maayo na file nimo action for interpleader. In principle, imo i-deposit ang kwarta dito sa korte. Magkaso na sila dito kinsa tong mga ga-claim, kinsay dapat nga rightful creditor. Then ang court mo decide kinsay angay mo receive sa payment. At least samot na kung dako ang amount, dili ka ma-appeal sa ilahang problema. Kay kung mubayad ka ni creditor number 1, kihaon sa ka ni creditor number 2, 3, 4, 5 na let's just say igsuon ko na sila or sila na owner sa collectible nga imong dapat bayran. So mas maayo imong filean og action for interpleader so that it will not be for you to determine who should be the rightful party to receive the payment. It will be for the court, and the persons alleging to be the rightful creditor, sila na maoy mag-protect sa ilang rights before the court in the action for interpleader. Okay? So the regional trial court rendered a decision adjudging the respondents, heirs of Julita, as the exclusive and absolute owners of the subject lot and building. However, later on, the Honorable Court of Appeals reversed the said decision and without ruling definitively on the ownership of the said properties, held that the respondents, heirs of Julita and petitioner Uy, are entitled to an equal share of the proceeds of the rent due from Josefa. So mo'y decision sa korte, equal share. So gi-acknowledge niya nga 50% to the first sibling, 50% to the other sibling, si Julita. So ang receive sa share ni Julita ang heirs ni Julita. So it would be as if at this point wala gi-acknowledge sa court in that interpleader case ang katong deed of sale kuno executed by Labnao, the deceased mother, to the children of Julita. So on their part, the respondents, heirs of Julita, assert in their petition for quieting of title and ownership that they have acquired ownership over the subject lot when they purchased the same from their grandmother Labnao, as evidenced by the deed of absolute sale. So ilang theory is napalit naman na mo during the lifetime of Lola, no, their grandmother. So if valid po niyan deed of absolute sale, and if it is genuine, authentic, and there was a valid sale, sakto po niyang position sa heirs ni Julita. Ang question dire, kinsa gisultig tinuod? Di man yung gisultig tinuod, no? Ang question dire is, valid ba, authentic, kaning deed of sale nga gi-execute sa mother ni petitioner Uy and si Julita to the children of Julita, no? The sale from Labnao to her grandchildren, the children of Julita, valid ba ni ang sale? Kay kung valid, then wala na ibahin ani si petitioner. But kung dili ni valid ang sale, then 50-50 si petitioner and his sibling nga patay na, in which case ang mga anak ni Julita. And prior to the said sale and during the lifetime of their mother Julita, the latter allegedly constructed a subject building on the subject lot. That upon the death of Julita in 1976, as surviving heirs of the latter, they became the rightful and exclusive owners of the subject building by operation of law. Hence, the respondents, heirs of Julita, maintain that their claim of ownership over the subject lot and the subject building is now absolute, and that petitioner Uy's demand for reconveyance constituted a cloud obscuring their title and thus should be quashed. No? Mao man na ang quieting of title, imong i-clean ang cloud sa imuhang property, sa imong ownership. The respondents heirs of Julita also assert that petitioner Ui's allegation that the deed of absolute sale is fictitious is belied by the prior dismissal of a criminal case for falsification filed by petitioner Uy against the respondents heirs of Julita. Agrabihan na day kaso no? Kung gasanga-sanga na. Kanilang daan nga Supreme Court case, duha ka civil actions ang origin. Before that, tanay criminal case between the same parties, more or less, no? Kay kanang criminal case, people, the Philippines man na. Ang real party na isang statement. At syempre, ang private complainant, ang pasimuno og to katong complainant, no? In this case, the petitioner. Yan napadyod to'y kaso for interpleader para sa rentals. Bati kayo, no? Unfortunate ba? Nga nabilin, ang problema, gaaway na noon sila. Imbis nga bahinon og sakto. Ang nindot untaan to, before namatay, or mo na akong style na, no? Mag-practice, akong practice. Let's just say, si Labnaw, ma-execute o deed of sale to the children of Julita. Ang maayo na, aside sa disinterested witnesses, butangan ni mga to written conformity or written notice and conformity to the children of Labnaw. Katong nga possible oppositors ba? Possible na musupa or possible persons who may later on question the validity and authenticity of the sale to the children of the heirs of Julita. Kana lang daan, dako kayo og masalbar sa legal fees, dili mabugatan ang korte, dili mabugatan ang kliyente, and it's as if free, no? Ang kana siya nga remedy. Imo lang padtuon og appeal tong si petitioner og iyang sibling, si Julita og si Uy, papirmahon tato dito sa deed of sale executed by their parent, their mother, to their grandchildren. Written conformity. Balag dili sila party, but it can no longer be denied later on. At least it will not be easily denied nga nahibaw sila about the sale. So wala na rason kaayo or gamay na lang jud kayo og chance nga napay mo reklamo. A little extra step punta na for the person preparing the deed of absolute sale by Labnaw to the children of Julita. Dili unta maabot sa ingani kadaghan nga away among family members. For petitioner Uy, the following witnesses were presented. Si petitioner himself, Uy, Varona, the document examiner of PNP Regional Crime Laboratory Office, number Region 7, si Sonia of the Commission on Audit, Idina Abrio, the court stenographer, and another personnel of the Municipal Trial Court. For respondents, heirs of Julita, the following witnesses were presented. The respondent, si Jessica, si Aban, one of the purported witnesses who signed the deed of absolute sale. Attorney, the notary public, no? The attorney who supposedly notarized the deed of absolute sale. Muna ako basta ka ng magnotaryo, bahalag gamay kay kung manotaryuhan. Di jud ka monotaryo og wa na diha sa mga tubangan. Picturean jud na nimo. Kay ngani magkaso di ka makuyawan kung tinuod nga nianha jud na sa imong atubangan. Kay you don't have to make any form of explanation. Yan na mas mo tubangan, na ID. Imong gi-explikaran. Wala gitutukan og pusil para mo pirma. You don't have to worry about anything being the notary public, no? The ruling of the Regional Trial Court. The Regional Trial Court rendered in its joint decision favoring the respondents heirs of Julita. So, may favor sa validity of the sale ang Regional Trial Court, believing that there was indeed a contract of sale that was entered into between Labnaw and the respondents heirs of Julita. The Regional Trial Court held that any and all cloud on the title of the respondents heirs of Julita over the subject lot should be erased, declaring the latter as the owners of the subject lot. Further, the Regional Trial Court ordered the respondents heirs of Julita to give petitioner Uy the present value of 1/2 of the subject building as the latter's share as co-owner by way of inheritance from Labnao. So ang yuta ra di cloud on the title of the respondents over the subject lot should be erased. So kani nga basahan na to, no? Akong interpretation na ni napalit ang yuta. Ang katong building gi-inherit. Asig nasayop ko atong tanawon ba. Further, the regional trial court ordered the respondents heirs of Julita to give petitioner Uy the present value of 1/2 of the subject building as the latter's share as co-owner by way of inheritance from Labnao. So, gi-inherit ra ang building, ang napalit ang yuta. Lastly, the regional trial court held that once the above-mentioned value is fixed and petitioner Uy's shares given to him, the title to the subject building shall be bestowed upon the respondents heirs of Julita in exclusive ownership. The dispositive portion of the joint decision reads, premises considered, the court hereby rules and declares the following: to erase the cloud on the title to lot number 43 of Jessica, Joselito, and Janet, all surnamed the same, with the same surname, and thus declare them owners thereof, and for Uy, his heirs and assigns to respect such ownership. Okay? To be given to the petitioner Uy by Jessica, Joselito, and Janet, all surnamed the same, being siblings, the present value of 1/2 of the building, present value as his share, being a co-owner thereof by way of inheritance from his mother, to be determined by an independent commission composed of 3 appraisers nominated by Uy, the heirs of Julita, and the court. Until then, the sharing of rental shall be maintained. Once the value is fixed and the 1/2 portion paid by the 3 jointly, title to the building shall be reposed to them in exclusive ownership, and to charge the cost of the suit jointly upon the parties. Patas, no? Silang duha mo gasto sa kaso. The regional trial court conclusively found, and as admitted by both parties, that the subject lot initially belonged to the registered owner, Labnao, who is the predecessor in interest of both parties. Moving to the core issue of the case, the regional trial court did not concur with the petitioner, Uy, that there was no contract of sale that occurred. According to the regional trial court's assessment, the single and most essential evidence presented by petitioner Uy with respect to the allegation that a deed of absolute sale was falsified was the document examination undertaken by the PNP Crime Laboratory Region 7. The regional trial court held that the courts are not bound by expert testimonies and was not convinced by the testimony of the handwriting expert presented by petitioner Uy. The regional trial court also stressed on the fact that the deed of absolute sale was notarized, explaining that a notarial document must be sustained in full force and effect. Mamugod na ang presumption, no? Kung ang document manotarize siya, from a mere private document, it becomes a public document. And there is a presumption that the signature or the document was genuinely executed, no? That it is authentic, and that the signature or the execution of the document, it was acknowledged before the notary public. So mawala ang, you have to prove, no? You have to prove forgery. So if diliin mo na ma-prove ang forgery, then mahog ang presumption of authenticity sa pirma, genuineness and due execution of the document, it will remain. So mo na siya effect sa notarization. With respect to the subject building, the regional trial court held that Labnao excluded the building in the conveyance, no? Wala gyapil. In effect, She wanted that her heirs share it. Since the court finds that the same belonged to Labnao, one half of it should be given to the petitioner, Uy, as in fact in the earlier case between the parties respecting the division of rents, the Court of Appeals deemed it wise to effect an equal sharing of the same. So should this court, because petitioner Uy established that he and Labnao built the existing building, it belonged to Labnao but not included in the sale. Feeling aggrieved, petitioner Uy appealed before the Court of Appeals. Tanawa na to unsay ruling sa Court of Appeals. Kay ang punto mo diri ni Uy, nganong magbahin mi nga ako mang na-establish nga ako kung si mama, no, iya mama og siya, sila mo'y gapatukod sa building, ha? Mo na nga mo na yung fury. So sakit siyang buot nga mag 50-50 sa building. The ruling of the Court of Appeals. In the sale decision, the Court of Appeals denied the appeal for lack of merit. Diri sa din, no? Nindot kung karon ra sa nako nabantayan, na-appreciate na to ba nga kani diri the regional trial court conclusively found and as admitted by both parties, no, nga kung man to admitted man to nga si Labnao ang ilang mother ni Uy ug ni Julita mo'y tagya sa lot. Then core issue diri is the regional trial court did not concur with the petitioner Uy that there was no contract of sale that occurred. So, as far as the regional trial court is concerned, valid ang sale from the grandmother to the grandchildren, from Labnao to the heirs of Julita. Ang gisaligan na magbud kuno, no? Ang gisaligan or the reliance of Uy was based on the document examination undertaken by the PNP Crime Laboratory. So the regional trial court did not give much weight to that to the testimony and findings of the expert witness from the PNP Crime Laboratory that the signature on the document was a forgery. So wala to gitagaan og evidentiary weight, no, in arriving at the decision. With respect to the building, the regional trial court held that it should be shared 50-50. Si petitioner wala makontento because for him, niamot nan siya pagpatukod sa building. So, dapat dili 50-50. So, the ruling of the Court of Appeals, in the sale decision, the Court of Appeals denied the appeal for lack of merit. The dispositive portion of the assailed decision reads, wherefore, premises considered, the instant appeal is denied. The joint decision issued by the regional trial court is hereby affirmed totally. So ordered. The Court of Appeals affirmed the regional trial court's joint decision because the deed of absolute sale, which conveyed and transferred the ownership of the subject land to the respondents, heirs of Julita, being duly acknowledged before a notary public, has in its favor the presumption of regularity. Muna effect sa notarization, presumption of regularity, and is conclusive as to the truthfulness of its contents. Further, the Court of Appeals explained that forgery cannot be presumed. It must be proved by clear, positive, and convincing evidence. The burden of proof lies in the party alleging forgery. Hence, the instant appeal before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court issued a resolution requiring the respondents to file their comment on the instant petition. However, the respondents failed to file any comment. Hence, the respondents' right to file a comment on the instant petition is deemed waived, no? Okay, once mo file ang petition, ningon mo na ang appellate court. Other party na petition you file before the day, submit your written comment to the contents of the petition. Unsay inyong position, unsay inyong case theory, no? Naman na siya sa procedure, unsay butang. wa mo comment within the allowed period. So the case was submitted for decision and the right to file a comment on the petition was deemed waived. No? Issue stripped to its core unsa may issue aning kasuha before the Honorable Supreme Court. The essential issue to be resolved by the court is whether there was a contract of sale that was entered into between the parties' predecessor in interest, Labnao, and the respondents' heirs of Julita, transferring ownership over the subject lot in the latter's favor. The court's ruling, the instant petition is meritorious. The deed of absolute sale was not properly notarized. Uy, nabali. In determining whether Labnao indeed sold the subject lot to the respondents, heirs of Julita, the Court of Appeals confined its discussion mainly to the evidence concerning the authenticity and due execution of the written document denominated as deed of absolute sale, focusing on the dependability of the said document on account of its notarization. The court disagrees with the Court of Appeals finding that the deed of absolute sale was properly notarized. According to the notarial law, applicable during the time of the notarization of the deed of absolute sale, every contract, deed, or other document acknowledged before a notary public shall have certified thereon that the parties thereto have presented their proper cedula, residence certificates, or are exempt from the cedula residence tax. The presentation of competent evidence of identity is required where a document is acknowledged before a notary public to ascertain the identity or identities of the persons appearing before him and to avoid impostors. In the instant case, as confirmed by the Regional Trial Court, the notary public admitted that he did not ask from Labnao any competent evidence of her identity and merely asked if she was the one who signed the document. On cross-examination, Attorney Mendiola, the notary public, unequivocally admitted, no? So, clearly ba? Absolutely. Walay dual meaning. Klaro. Unequivocally admitted that he no longer verified the identity of the old woman. Ano po ka? Mao man yung notaryo ka, mangayo man ka sa ID, sa mo tatwa ka kaila. Pero lang kung nakaila ka ng tawhana, like silingan nimo, tapad sa inyong balay, kaila jud ka na niya, usahay man gani, masin silingan nimo, mangayo ka sa ID kay ang angga raman nimo na ilhan, wa man sa kakabaw sa tinuod nga spelling sa or full name anang tawhana. Because the deed of absolute sale was not properly notarized, it cannot be presumed, contrary to the Court of Appeals holding, to have been regularly executed. So, nadisgrasya ang notarization sa deed of absolute sale. Atong tanawon niya rin kung nawala ba ang validity sa deed of sale tungod sa kaning improper notarization. Kay kaning nga ruling, this ruling of the Honorable Supreme Court merely resolve the issue on the propriety or on how the notarization was done, whether it was proper or not, no? Whether the presumption of the authenticity, genuineness, and due execution of the document will remain standing, or will it no longer be available for the parties of the sale or the respondents heirs of Julita to avail of, no? Naapa ba ang presumption or wala na, no? Wala man daw ma-properly notarized. So, because it was not properly notarized, it cannot be presumed to have been regularly executed. So, ako ang anticipation ani, pumunta ka butog basa sa ubos, murag mahog nga the genuineness and due execution of the document can still be established, but by evidence. It will no longer be presumed, but it should be established by evidence because there was no proper notarization. More na effect. But let's see kung mubarog pa ba gihapon ang deed of absolute sale. the existence of an alleged notarized deed of sale is not decisive as to the existence and validity of a contract of sale. A contract is a meeting of minds between two persons whereby one binds himself or herself with respect to the other to give something or to render some service. Article 1458 of the Civil Code in turn defines a sale as a contract whereby one of the contracting parties, the seller, obligates himself or herself to transfer the ownership and to deliver a determinate thing, no? Something that is identifiable, claro, no? Clear object. And the other party, the buyer, obligates himself or herself to pay therefore a price, certain in money or its equivalent. Thus, the elements of a contract of sale are consent, object, and price in money or its equivalent. The absence of any of these essential elements negates the existence of a perfected contract of sale. A contract of sale is a consensual contract. No? Under Article 1475 of the Civil Code, the contract of sale is perfected at the moment there is a meeting of minds upon the thing which is the object of the contract and upon the price. Because a contract of sale is a consensual contract, no particular form is required for its validity. Thus, even if there is a document that purports to be a contract of sale, if there is strong countervailing evidence, no? If there is strong countervailing evidence establishing the want of consent or meeting of the minds, there is no contract of sale. In a case, it was held that the notarization of a document does not guarantee its validity because it is not the function of the notary public to validate an instrument that was never intended by the parties to have any binding legal effect. Neither is the notarization of the document conclusive as to the nature of the transaction, nor is it conclusive of the true agreement of the parties thereto. Simply stated, the existence, veracity, and authenticity of a notarized written deed of sale do not conclusively determine whether all the essential requisites of the contract are present. Applying the foregoing to the instant case, as made clear in the respondent's heirs of Julita's formal offer of exhibits or documentary evidence, kay once mangod mahuman ka og present sa imuhang testimonial evidence or witnesses under Rule 132, Section 35, you must formally offer your evidence because that is required under Rule 132, Section 34, where the Honorable Trial Court cannot consider any evidence in the resolution of its case if it was not formally offered by the party offering such exhibit. No? Applying the foregoing to the instant case as made clear in the formal offer of the respondents, there is no other documentary evidence that had been offered to prove that a contract of sale was entered into by the parties aside from the deed of absolute sale. The only other evidence presented to prove the existence of a contract of sale is the testimony of Respondent Jessica. A careful review of the sworn testimony of Respondent Jessica reveals that the Respondent's heirs of Julita never consented to enter into any contract of sale, completely belying the contents of the deed of absolute sale. Otherwise stated, Respondent Jessica's testimony establishes that there was, in fact, no meeting of minds with respect to the alleged sale of the subject lot. Respondent Jessica never testified that the respondent's heirs of Julita approached Labnao to offer to buy the subject lot, nor did she testify that the respondent's heirs of Julita consented to purchase the subject lot. As well, she never testified that Labnao had approached them to offer to sell the subject lot. In short, the testimony of Respondent Jessica is devoid of any contention that there was any offer and any acceptance of such offer to buy the subject lot. Indeed, during cross-examination, respondent Jessica even candidly admitted to the respondents, heirs of Julita, that they did not have any participation in the drafting of the deed of absolute sale, and that all the siblings were surprised. No? They were surprised when this document was given to them by Labnao in 1 month after the purported execution of the deed of absolute sale, which was the first time they ever saw the document. So when this alleged witness signed this document, you were not present? Yes, sir. Mo ang cross-examination. And also when Eufronia Labnao allegedly signed this document, you were not present also, is it not? Yes, sir. And on the second page, there is here a signature above the rubber stamp, Jose A. Mendiola, Rotary Public. Were you present when this was notarized? No, sir. How did you come into possession of this document? The answer: we were having a vacation somewhere, Janet and Osilito, and we were summoned by our grandmother to see her. When we met her, she gave this document to us saying, keep this because this is yours. So mura siya donation, gipagawas lang nga deed of sale, no? At this point ba? When was that? When you were called up by your grandmother, Eufronia Labnao? It was in the month of May. And were you surprised? Were you surprised by your Lola who gave that document to you? Yes, sir. You were surprised because you did not have any agreement with your Lola regarding the share of this particular lot? Yes, sir. And that was the first time you came to know that the land conveyed by lot, that the land covered by lot number 43 of the cadastral survey and the improvement of the building was given to you by your Lola. Only the lot, not the building. Now, when this document was handed to you by your Lola, you just look at said deed of absolute sale, is it not? Yes, sir. This deed of absolute sale. And Joselito was also present that time? Yes, sir. Also Janet? Yes, sir. And that was the only time that you talk about this land, lot number 43 with your grandmother Labnao? Yes, sir. So basically, taas pa kayo. Mo na siya naitabo nga kuan kaning cross-examination. In other words, the sole witness presented by the respondents, heirs of Julita, to prove the existence of the contract of sale, actually testified that there was never any agreement on the part of the respondents, heirs of Julita, to purchase the subject lot from their grandmother, and that they were even surprised that a deed of absolute sale even existed in the first place. To the mind of the court, therefore, there was no valid contract of sale in the first place, no? Ug ako pod, mo agree pud ko na, no? Kato siya, di panganlan og deed of sale, but actually, it was more of like a donation. The problem is for a donation of a real property, there has to be a written deed of donation with a written deed of acceptance. Both instruments must be notarized, no? Pwede po na siya one instrument lang, ang donation of acceptance, signed by the donor and the donee, and it must be notarized during the lifetime of both the donor and donee. In this case, di na pwede nimo ma-remedyo, no? Kaya patay naman. And even if gidonate, the donation is like an advance inheritance. It could still be computed as part of the part of the estate. Aside from the foregoing, it does not escape the court's attention that the purported deed of absolute sale was never registered with the Registry of Deeds, nor was the deed of absolute sale annotated on the subject transfer certificate of title. In fact, the subject transfer certificate of title was never transferred to the names of the supposed buyers, remaining to be registered in the name of Labnao. If there was truly a legitimate and genuine transaction that occurred, the supposed buyers, according to ordinary human experience, would have endeavored to secure the registration of the deed of absolute sale and facilitate the transfer of the subject transfer certificate of title in their name. Hence, the court, no, referring to the Honorable Supreme Court, is convinced that there was no contract of sale. Void donation of an immovable property. Murag mao na ni akong istorya ganina. Kay kanang donation gani nga inato. Okay lang na kung gi-donate sa imo sabon, cake, lechon. Pero kanang yuta, kailangan na siya in writing and in a public instrument. What the court deduces from the facts on record is that Labnao's intention was to ensure that her grandchildren, the respondents, heirs of Julita, would exclusively receive the subject lot. Thus, instead of simply donating the property, Labnao opted to simply simulate a contract of sale. So, simulated contract of sale gini siya. Kani siya murag sakto gini no kanang makaingon ta nga based on the cross-examination of the witness, mao jud ni nahitabo. Unfortunately, even as a transfer of the subject lot to the respondents heirs of Julita, the deed of absolute sale cannot be considered a valid donation. According to Article 749 of the Civil Code, in order for a donation of an immovable property to be considered valid, the donation must be made in a public document specifying therein the property donated and the value of the charges which the donee must satisfy. In the instant case, as already explained, the deed of absolute sale was not properly notarized, making it a private document. Hence, there was no donation made in a public document. So, muna'y luoy. At this point, di na nimo na maremedyo nga sayop. No? Patay naman. Moreover, Article 749 of the Civil Code additionally requires that the donee manifests his or her acceptance of the donation of the immovable property. Muna akong isulti ganina. Either in the same public instrument, o sahon, or ibuwag, or in a separate instrument. If the donee accepts the donation in a separate instrument, the donor should be notified thereof in an authentic form, and this step shall be noted in both instruments. In the instant case, there was no acceptance of any donation manifested by the respondents heirs of Julita in the unilaterally executed deed of absolute sale. There was also no separate instrument that was executed by the respondents heirs of Julita for the purpose of accepting any donation from their grandmother. Simply stated, the formalities of making and accepting a donation of an immovable property required under Article 749 of the Civil Code were not observed. The donation of real property is void without the formalities stated in Article 749 of the Civil Code. If it were a valid donation, it would have been collated back to the estate of Labnao pursuant to Articles 908. No? Mabalik siya sa estate because it had never been successfully excluded from the estate pursuant to a sale. No? Even if it were a valid donation, it would have been collated back. No? Kaya appeal man na siya, more siya advance inheritance to the estate of Labnao pursuant to Articles 908 and 1064 of the Civil Code. And Petitioner Uy and the respondents heirs of Julita would have divided the estate of Labnao equally, with Petitioner Uy inheriting in his own right and the respondents heirs of Julita inheriting as a group per sterpis or by right of representation. Kaya si Labnao to Uy, anak man siya ni si Uy, anak man ni Labnao, so he is inheriting in his own right. Kani siya mga anak ni Julita, they are inheriting by right of representation. Ang ilang nadawat, bahin ra sila mama, dili sila equal share ni uncle nila, no? Muna yung difference sa right of representation o inheritance in your own right, no? So, if right of representation, ang pag-compute sa inyo share per sterpis. Okay? In conclusion, hence, considering that there is no valid contract of sale or donation of immovable property transferring the subject lot from Labnao to the respondents heirs of Julita, and bearing in mind that the regional trial court's holding in the joint decision that the subject building is under the co-ownership of Petitioner Uy and the respondents heirs of Julita was left undisturbed, the court holds that both the subject lot and building are under the co-ownership of Petitioner Uy and the respondents heirs of Julita as the intestate heirs of Labnao. Thereafter, the parties may choose to either judicially or extrajudicially partition the co-owned properties. Wherefore, the instant petition is granted, the sale decision and the sale resolution of the Court of Appeals are reversed and set aside, necessarily the joint decision is vacated, no, sa regional trial court. The deed of absolute sale is declared null and void, na walang bisa, no. Successfully napawalang bisa ang deed of absolute sale. So nabalik siya sa estate and it is now co-owned by Uy and the respondents, being the representatives of their deceased mother, Julita. Maigsuon ni Uy, no? Okay. Kung man ni, uncle versus nephews, uncle versus nieces and nephew. So ordered. Nahuman na to. Ang full decision aning quieting of title, nullity of deed of sale, reconveyance, damages. Duha ka cases na consolidate pagkahuman na jointly tried, then ay joint decision. So nindot, diba? Makita pa nimo giun sa pag cross-examine during trial and how it was established that in fact there was no valid sale and the intention was really of a donation. Unfortunately, despite the clear presence of donative intent of the grandmother, it failed to comply with the formalities required by law to perfect a valid donation. Okay? So I'll see you in the next case. Taas-taas. But, di ba? Nindot siya nga kaso. Maka-refresh sa itong naibawan, maka-clarify. So, I hope it helps. Thank you.